Greetings, everyone. Let's talk about the garden architecture this time. I start with a paradox. The stylish gardening in Europe has its origin in the Egyptian desert. There, about 3,000–4,000 years ago, they already knew how to enrich beggarly desert soils, created the sophisticated network of their irrigation, and cultivated plants not only for daily but also for the spiritual food. This technology had been taken over and applied by the first European civilizations, which gave aesthetics an important place in day-to-day life: the ancient Greeks and Romans. The evidence of it reached nowadays, unfortunately, only in the written form, mythology, descriptions of religious ceremonies, and other texts. The material evidence was preserved in the form of Persian gardens. Of record, both in Christianity and in Islam, the concept of paradise is directly associated with the notion of garden. On the record, the Persian garden architects combined the vision of paradise and oasis in their projects, and this way the new style was born, the Persian garden. So long as the paradise is accessible not for everyone but only for very good people, its replica on Earth had to be surrounded by walls or buildings. In the spotlight, the beginning of all life: water. As a source, a fountain, or, if you can afford it, a pool. From this central water reservoir disperse the side channels, all in straight lines. These channels divide the surface of the whole garden in the formal geometrical figures. Such configuration has its practical use. First, water flows better and faster straightly. Very important for irrigation. Second, there is an easy access to every corner of the garden. Following the shape of the water bassin, the rows of trees are planted. The trees create shadow. The shadow creates coolness for the visitors and slows down the evaporation of water. Also, typically, the borders alongside the pools. This way, the effect of contrast starts to function. On the one hand, the transparency of water is emphasized. On the other hand, the color and the shape of the flowers are accentuated. The fountains in Persian gardens fulfill the acoustic function rather than the decorative one. Under the burning sun, even the birds are not in the mood to twitter. The surrounding walls prevent the wind to make the noise of waving leaves. The only what breaks the dead silence is the sound of seething water. The planting also took place according to the very formal, complicated, thought-out plan. I should better follow a plan myself to talk about it. Point 1. The practical aspect. The trees and high shrubs had to provide shadow. Climbing plants had to camouflage their boring walls. Low-growing plants had to cover the soil and prevent it from drying too soon. By the way, the lawn is the Persian invention. Up to now, in Spain, they saw the special drought-resistant sort of grass, cultivated in Persia. Point 2. The botanical features of plants. Each plant flowers and flavors at a certain time. That is why the plantations were grouped so that when the one stops, another starts to blossom. And in the neighborhood with the plants with broad network of roots, the compact tuber and bulbous crops were planted. Point 3. The aesthetic aspect. The harmonious combination of colors and fragrances was taken very seriously. The bright colors were calmed down and diluted with green. The plants producing powerful fragrance were placed in a distance from each other to avoid undesirable mixture of perfumes and the headache as consequence. The man-made elements such as summer houses and pavilions were present in a very limited quantity. That's all about the Persian garden, perhaps, for now. I shall repeatedly return to this inexhaustible subject in my videos about gardens and plants. Keep on watching Mama's Garden. Stay healthy, live in prosperity. See you.